One of the key things that I keep hearing consistently coming out of House Hall these days is we're gonna be physical. I think a certain thing when I hear those words. Let's get it cracking. Yo, 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 no maniacs, super no maniacs, and all in between. Welcome to another edition of Feed the Bears. Hey, listen, we're gonna get right on into this one. So let me tell you a quick story right quick before I get all the way into this guy you see on the screen right here, right now. It's Damian Martinez running back from Miami. Now, when I think about Chicago football, Chicago style football in particular, something comes to my head. And when I've seen the best Chicago football in my life, those were teams that were extremely physical up front. And I'm talking about on the offensive side of the ball. You had a certain type of running back. You had offensive linemen with certain characteristic traits. And this little story here is kind of dear to my heart because it was my grandfather who was ultimately the only dad I really had in my life. And I lived with my grandparents until I was 11 years old. And he was famous for just keeping a bunch of old tape, a lot of Chicago Bears tape. He's a Jersey guy. He's from that area, and he really believed in a certain brand of football. And so he would constantly show me as a kid a bunch of old Walter Payton film, and even my boys when they came over to the house and they spent the night. Even as I got a little bit older, he was constantly showing that film, man, all the time. You know what I think back on it now? It was a little annoying, to be honest with you, but now the fact that now that he's gone, I think about those moments. I wish I can have those back and he could do that again, just annoy the crap out of me with all that tape, but it was fun. But anyway, what got into my head, me as a football player, a young football player, I took on that mentality. Just all of that film that he was showing me, constantly beating that into my cranium, it made me a certain type of football player. And I was a physical football player, you know. Now, this guy you see on the screen right here, Damian Martinez, I I don't know. There's several backs that I really really like in this draft. Several of them. Now, when I think about a Chicago style, just key in on that word. I don't know what you think of when you hear Chicago style running back, but the first thing that comes to my head, we need a physical guy. We need a very very physical guy. Damian Martinez is about 6'1", 232 pounds. He is a bruiser. You understand me? A bruiser. Let me give you a little bit of his background because I think this is important. I typically don't really go to the stats when I'm talking about these guys, especially at this time of the year, because a lot of people use those, those RAS scores and all the PFF metrics to kind of measure a guy because it probably most times too lazy to go look at the film. But I'm not. I would rather go to the film and then let the stats, if they align with what I see on film, I don't mind repeating them. So let me give you a little bit of background on Damian Martinez. He's a Texas kid. He come in high school. He really, really tore it up in high school. The entire time there, he gets, what was it, 4,300 yards while he was in high school. I mean, he really tore up. Texas high school is a hotbed for football. I mean, so he got 4,300 yards in high school, 66 touchdowns. Now he went right away to signs a scholarship and goes to Oregon State right away. His freshman campaign almost hit 1,000 yards right away. He made his presence felt right away there. Topped it off the next year, tore it up again, hit about 1,100 yards. And after that, he goes to Miami, where he never let them down there. He hit another, let me look at these stats again. Like I thought, another 1,000-yard season, 1,200 yards there. This guy was a semifinalist for the Doak Walker Award. For those who don't know what that award is, that's probably the most prestigious award that could be given for a college football player as a running back. The Doak Walker Award, outside the Heisman Trophy, there's nothing better. That award is the legit masterpiece you want to get if you're a running back. That says that you're the number one running back in the country. He let you, I mean, this guy, I'm telling you, you watch on film and right away, I mean, when I say right away, I mean right away, the physicality jumps out at you. It really jumps out. And by the way, the entire time he was in school, I think this is important to mention. He never averaged less than 6.2 yards a carry. Think about that. He never averaged less than 6.2 yards a carry. This guy's speed is not going to wow you. He did have a breakaway 70-yard run where he ran a long one. He hit it for the home run, and that was on top of a 179-yard game in his final game as a Hurricane in one of those bowls they were playing. He had a 179-yard game, a 70-something yard run. That was impressive. You probably should see that game. That was a very impressive football game. But again, when I think about what a Chicago Bears running back should look like and the type of demeanor, the style, this guy is, when I start thinking about when football games really, really matter, starts to get later in the year, starts to get a little bit colder. And, when you see backs like this be effective late in games when teams are getting tired. I watched a few games with Miami, and they really knew what they had at running back. I watched this dude pound defenses into submission. You kind of, when you're playing on the field, you can kind of get a sense of what this defense is, what's their temperature. You're trying to check their temperature as you're getting your carries, and you're looking to find weaknesses. And you got those teams out there that everybody's got their hands on their hip late in the game. We in the early fourth quarter, late fourth quarter, the game's getting late, the game's tight. You want to turn around and hand the ball off to your horse. And I seen him absolutely just demolish teams. I mean, demolish teams. There was no will or there was no warning to tackle this kid late in the game, because as he gets more carries, the tougher he gets to bring down. His contact balance, amazing. He doesn't have the breakaway speed. He's gonna run consistent 70-yard touchdowns on you. He can. But he doesn't have, I think he ran like a 4.5 at the 40 or something. I heard. I mean, at the combine, I heard. That's impressive for a big dude that size. It's very impressive. I heard he looked really good at the combine for whatever reasons. Whoever measures that kind of stuff, I don't care anything about it. But I know what I see on film. And when I think of a Chicago-style running back, this guy needs to thump. You hear Dennis Allen, the whole cliche about what they had going on in Detroit, thunder and lightning. We have lightning in the form of DeAndre Swift. We need thunder now. You need to get a back that when the game is on the line and that you got that defense leaning and they're ready to fall over, you gotta give it that final hack of the wood and make that tree fall over. And this is it right here. This is a Chicago-style running back. Damian Martinez is everything to me, the epitome of a Chicago-style running back. I'm just encouraging you guys to go check his film out. Think about it. As you're watching this film, I tried to look and imagine at what this would look like in Chicago. Is this the kind of guy that would fit in what Ben Johnson wants to do? I have nothing. My antennas just go and peak at its highest, and just electricity between the two ears. This is what you want. This is what you want. And this is not a running back you're going to have to reach for in the draft. Try to get him early. Nah. If you're patient and you know what you see on film, you believe in what you see on film, you got conviction in what you've seen on film, Damian Martinez will fall right into Ryan Poles' lap, right when they need him to. And this is, I'm talking about for the next 8 to 10 years, you got the running back you need to really impose your will on a football team. You want to put the pressure on him? Make him try to stop this dude. That's what we need. A Chicago-style running back is one that thumps, period. He thumps. When the game is on the line, you're going to have to deal with him. And this is the exact kind of back that I'm looking for. And I'm really looking forward to this draft just to see how this thing plays out and where he lands on the board after they do a couple of things. I think he's going to still be there second, third round. I don't know. I'm mad that I even said that, because I have no idea how other teams value Damian Martinez. For all I know, there's teams out there that say, you know what, first chance I get, I'm going to take this guy off the board because he's durable, number one. Durable, he's physical. And this is exactly, if you want to make an impression on defenses, make them try to stop this dude. Damian Martinez, I think, he's probably my favorite running back in this draft. I got several of them. For that particular personality type, the guy that's going to really, really put pressure on defense with that physicality, there's not a running back in this draft that I'm more confident that can bring that to the table. You want to get physical, Ben Johnson? You want to get physical, Ryan Poles? Draft this kid, Damian Martinez. It's going to give you everything you want. But that's what I got for this, man. Just encourage you guys to go watch him on film. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about him. And, give me some comments, man, because I just want to hear back from you guys and see if you guys are detecting what I'm detecting. Do you think this is a Chicago-style running back like I do? Let me know in the comment section. But, guys, don't forget to hit the like button, share this content with your people, and make sure you hit the subscribe button. Both of those are free, by the way. I was one of those dummies a long time ago when I first started watching podcasts, and I see that subscribe thing. There's always somebody as dumb as me out there, you guys, that don't know that subscribe is free, man. You hit that button, it doesn't cost you anything. Hit the like, do all that stuff for us, and we appreciate you guys ahead of time. But with that being said, I want to leave you with these famous words. If you can think it, you can see it. There's no reason in the world why you cannot absolutely manifest it. Do not, and I repeat, do not be a prisoner of your own mind. With that being said, I am